Hello guys, it is Shivam here. Welcome to our new video. If you have been following along, you know that we have already embarked on an exciting journey together creating an incredible chat app in Flutter. But guess what? The adventure doesn't stop there. Today, I'm thrilled to announce the launch of our second Flutter series, the NewsApp series. In this News App series, I am going to build the complete app from scratch using the News API here. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button and click the notification bell so you won't miss a moment of this incredible journey. So let's get started. But before moving to the code, I want to reveal the incredible app we are going to build together. So here you can see the landing page of our app where I wrote news from around the world for you. Now click on the get started button and we'll move to the home page of the app. As you can see on the home page, I have wrote the app name using the app bar here, and just bottom of it I have wrote the different category like business, entertainment, general, health, etc. So after clicking on any of the category, user can read all the top news related to that category they have selected. Now at the bottom you can see the moving slider which will be a top breaking news of our app. You can see that slider are moving automatically with dot indicator at the bottom. All this I have done using the Carousel Slider package here. Now you can see trending news section where you can see all the list of trending news, and when the user will click on any of the news, then it will redirect them to the web view to read that news on more detail. As I have told you that to show all the breaking news, trending news and the news based on the different category, we will use a news API here which will work as the backend of our app. So let me take you to the news API website from where you will get the specific API key, and that key you can use on the app to access all the API here. So now as you can see here, if we need all the articles about Tesla from the last month, then we can use this API and can see all the news related to the Tesla in our app. Now we have added the different category in our app. So from here we can set the category according to our choice. Now it is showing a business, so it will show all the news related to business here. Now if you are looking for the specific source, then you can use this API on the app. So now let's move to the code and develop the app from scratch. So now we will start the developing app from the scratch. So let's move and will create a folder named pages here. Inside the pages folder, I will create a new file named home.dart here. Now inside the home.dart file, I will create a stateful widget named home here. So I will write a scaffold widget here, body, container. Will write a app bar here because my app name, because I want to show my app name at the top of the screen. So I will use app bar here. Now app bar, title, row. Inside the row, I will pass a to text here because I want to show Flutter in black color and news in blue color. So I will pass a to text inside the row. Now I'll give some styling to a news text here. So style, text style. I will pass the color here blue, and font weight dot bold. So as you can see, the text appear on our emulator, but it is on the left side of the screen. So I need to move this text bottom of the screen. So I will make the app bar center title to true. Also, we'll make the elevation to 0 because I want to remove any default elevation given by the app bar here. Now we also need to write main axis alignment makes main axis alignment dot center to center the text here. So as you can see, the text are on the center of the screen now. So after the app bar, I want to show all the list of categories here. So I will create a stateless widget name category tile here. Basically in category tile, we'll give some styling to a category we want to show in, and we'll pass image and category name here. As I have shown you in the UI, there will be a image, and at the top of that, using a stack widget, we'll write a category name. So in container, I will pass a child stack here and will write image.asset, and we'll get the images from the asset folder we'll create in this VS Code. So I'm writing image.asset image and will pass a width and height of the image. So to get the image, I will create a list here and we will call that list in the home page, and through that we will show all the category in the home page. So I will create a new folder named model here. Now inside the models folder, I will create a new file name category model.dart. In category model.dart, we'll create a class and we'll pass a string name, image and name, which will be the image of the category and the name we want to pass. Now I will create one more folder named services here. Now inside the services folder, I will create a new file name data.dart, where I will create a list of category model here and will call that category model in the home page and will show all the category in the home page. So I will create a list name get categories here and will pass a category model so that we can get the string category name and image that we have wrote inside the category model. Now I will add the category name and image one by one and will store them in the list name category here. So our first category name is business, and in category model.image, I will pass the images that we have saved on the images folder here. So let me save some of the images for the each category here. So as you can see in the images folder, I had saved all the category images that we will needed to create a category inside our home page, and we'll save that in the list name category here. So let me save all the category name and image inside the category list. will return a category where we have saved all the list. So it is done. Now let's move to the home page and we'll call this get categories inside the list. So I make a list name categories here and will pass a category model, and in the init state I will assign the all the list to a categories that we have saved on get categories function. Now let's move to the container and we'll create a column widget here. Now we'll create a container and we'll pass a list view dot builder. The reason for writing the list view dot builder is because I want to show all the list that we have saved on categories here, and will pass the each list that we have saved in the categories to a category tile where it will show us the category name and category image in the form of container. So in item count I am passing a categories length and will return a category tile, and image will pass a one by one images that we have saved in the categories here, and same for the name. Let me also explain you what does categories index.image does here. So categories, if the index is 0, then it will take the first list that we have saved in the categories section here, which will be a business image. As you can see on the top that we have saved first business list here. So it will get the image of the business.jpg inside the image and will pass to a category tile and will show the image and name according to that. So let me do hot restart. So as you can see, our app is not reading the image that we have saved inside the images folder. Basically, we need to start the complete app again and relaunch the project again. So give me a second, let me relaunch the project again. So as you can see, we have successfully relaunched the project, and you can now see the all the images that we have saved inside the images folder in the form of list view. But as you can see, the images are in the vertical position, but I want to show all the images in the horizontal portion. So I will move to the list view dot builder and will write inside the scroll direction that axis dot horizontal. Now we'll hot restart it again. So we are facing some error here. We had forgot to pass the height inside the container. So I am passing the height to the container here. Now you can see the images in the horizontal position. But we need to fix some height and width of the images here. So I will use a fit boxfit.cover, and it is now using the complete width that we have provided. Now the images are stuck with each another, so we'll provide some margin here. So we'll provide edge inset dot only right 16 to provide the margin at the right side of the each category here. Now I'll wrap up the image.asset with the clip react to provide some border radius to a image here, and we'll pass a border radius. So now we want to show a category name here. So I will write one more container here, and in the text widget we'll pass a category name and we'll give some style to a category name here. So I'm writing colors.white. We'll pass some color to a container to so that we can see the image clearly. So now you can see the image inside the images that we had passed. Now use a center widget to make a text to the center of the image. Now we'll provide some border radius to this container now. So we'll pass a border radius to the container. Now we'll give some font size to a text here and we'll write font size 14 and we'll pass a font width W500. I also want to provide to some margin to the first category we see here. So I will provide margin h insert dot only left 10.0. So now it looks good here. So now I am doing some more customization to a category tile here to look it more attractive for the user who are using the app. If you have any other idea to provide more styling to a category tile here, then you can go in your way too. So our category section is done. Now I want to provide the breaking news that I have shown you in the UI. So that is a moving container which will be shown one after the another. The moving container which I have shown you on the UI is known as Carousel Slider here. So we need to go to the pub dev and we need to copy the Carousel Slider package from the pub dev and we need to paste it inside the perspecaml file. Now run this package. Now let's move to the home.dart file. Now just below the category, I will write carousel slider.builder to show all the slider that we want to show inside the breaking news. But we need to show the image and the text at the top of the image in the carousel slider. So to save the image and the text, I will go to the model and will create a slider model.dart file here. Now we will create a class name slider model here and will pass a toString name, one for the name of the slider and second for the image. Now inside the services folder, I will create a slider data.dart file where I will save all the data in the list that we want to show in the carousel slider. So I will move to the data.dart file and copy the all the data from here and paste it inside the slider data.dart file because it will be same just like the what we have shown in the category section. I will just make some changes to the code here and will give a get slider function here and will pass a list name slider and will save the list one by one that we want to show in the carousel slider. So let me save all the three lists inside the slider list that we have created. So it is done. Now let's move to the home.dart file and we'll get the all the slider that we have saved in the get slider function and we'll get them according to what we have done for the get categories function here and we'll pass a list name slider here and in init state I will save all the list inside the slider list here. The reason for calling the list inside the init state is because whenever the app is launches, then init state is the first function that usually calls and then the whole app function starts. So as soon as the home page is called, I want that to save all the list that we have passed in the home page here so that it takes just a few seconds to show all the categories, slider and news to us in just a few seconds. So now I will create a widget name build image here and in build image we'll pass a image and the index will pass the image index and the name that we want to show in the slider here. So I will create a container here. Now inside the container I want to pass the image that we want to show in the slider form. We'll create a child image.asset and will pass the image that we have saved on the images folder here. For now, I am using the images that are saved on the images folder here. But when we call the API using the news API, then I will use a image.network to show all the images in the breaking news section will pass a with media query dot of context dot size dot width. I have wrote the widget outside the scaffold widget here. That's why it is showing the error inside the context. So I will paste it inside the scaffold widget. So it is done. So in item.count, I will pass the slider.length, which is our list name sliders, and will get the length using dot length function here. And item builder will pass the each index of the list and will use a variable name res here, and in res variable will pass a each string and will return it to build image. So first we need the image here. So it is asking that in res we should pass a string. So slider.index.image and will remove a final and will write a string. So it is done. Now we'll do same for the name. So I've created a string name res1 and through the index we'll get the name of the each list here and will pass it to the widget name build image. Now inside the option I will pass a carousel option. Basically carousel option is something which help us to provide the many features how we want to show the carousel slider here. So I give a height 200 because I want to show the slider with the height 200 here. Viewport fraction 1. Viewport fraction 1 because I want to show one image at a time in our home screen and want to enlarge the center page, so I will make it to true. So let me hot reload. We are facing some error here. So let me hot restart it again. So now as you can see we have got the slider here, but it is not in the autoplay form. I want that slider to move automatically without moving the slider one by one manually. So I will go to the carousel option and will make autoplay to true and will hot restart it again. So now as you can see our sliders are moving automatically. So now I will remove the enlarge center page and viewport fraction and will hot restart it again. So now as you can see the other two slider also. Now I will enlarge the center page to true. Now you can see it is enlarging the center page. I will provide some height. So now let's move to the build image widget here. Now we'll wrap up the image.asset with the clip react to provide some border radius to the image here, and we'll provide some margin because as you can see each slider has been stuck with each another. We'll hot restart it again. Now it's look good. So when you go to the carousel option, you can see there are the many more features you can use according to your need. You can see reverse, false true, and autoplay interval, autoplay animation duration, in how much time you want to move to the next slider. You can also give the duration here and many more things you can try according to your need. So now I want to show the text at the top of the each image here. So I will write a container, and in decoration, box decoration, I will pass the color here and will give some width media query dot of context dot size dot width, and I will give some margin from the top. So as you can see the black container here, so I'll provide the margin from the top according to my choice. Now it's look good. Now I'll provide some border radius to a container here from the bottom left and bottom right. Let me provide some more height to the slider here because the user can see what all text we have wrote inside the slider clearly. Now in child, I will write a text. We will pass the text to the each slider here and will give some styling to the text widget here. So as you can see the text on the each slider. Now we'll do some customization to show the text in more clear form. So I provide some height to the container here. So now our slider part is done, but I also want to show some dot-like structure below the slider. So as the slider will be moved, that dotted structure will also be moved, and it will indicate that how much slider will be come next to that. So in carousel option, I will write a function name on page change here and will keep refreshing the index if we are going to the new page or slider here by using a setState method. I will write a int active index equals to 0 and will keep on updating the active index here, which will help us to move the dot indicator to the next dot as soon as the slider or page changes. So now I will move to the pub dev and will copy the smooth page indicator package from here and paste it on inside the perspec.ml file. As you can see on the smooth page indicator, you can see many designs or animations you want to show the indicator below your carousel slider. You can use any of the effect you want to show inside the app. There are many effects in the smooth page indicator package. So now I'll go to the home.dart page again and I will give some height and then we will show the widget name build indicator here. So let me create the widget build indicator here. So I've created a widget name build indicator here and so I want to show animated container here. So I will write an animated container and active index will pass the active index that we have wrote that will change as soon as the slider or page has been changed and then the on page function will be called and update the active index here. Now we'll give some length of the slider because we want to show only that much indicator how much slider are present here. In effect, I will pass a slide effect here. You can pass any effect according to your choice that I have shown you in the pubdev file like jump effect, swipe effect and many more what you like. Now I'll give some width and height of the dot how I want here and will give a active dot color. So when the dot is active, then the active dot color will show what color we have passed here. So it is done. Now as you can see here, as soon as our slider move to the next slider, then our active index changes and it also moves the dot slider to the next dot. So now I'll move to the column again and will pass a text breaking news here. The slider I have shown here are all the breaking news that we will get from the news API. So as you can see here, breaking news text appear here. Now I want to move to the left side of the screen. So I will go to the column and will write cross axis alignment dot start. Now I'll wrap up with the row because after the breaking news, I want to show a view all text where the user will press the view all text and can see all the breaking news that will pass them through the API. So it is done. I will change the color of the view all here, and I also want to provide a maximum space between the row, so I will use a main axis alignment dot space between. So using a cross-axis alignment, our build indicator is on the left side. So I will use a center widget to make it to the center of the screen. So it is done. Now I will copy the row again where we have passed the to text and will show a trending news now. So now if you want to provide any of the styling to the text here, then you can use a font family here. Basically, in the font family, you can pass the different font according to your choice. I will show you how to use a Google font here and will save that in the fonts folder and will call them in the font family. Though I will not use any font here, I am showing you just if you want to give more styling to the text widget here. So now I'll go to the website name Google font here. Here you can see many more Google font and you can use them according to your choice. So I am searching the Pacifico here and I will download the font family from here and will unzip the file and will create a new folder named fonts here where we will save all the fonts that we will use on our app and will paste inside the fonts folder. Now let's move to the Perspec ML and we want to show what font we are using in the font family section. In family, I will pass a font name Pacifico regular.ttf file here. So now I will show you how to use that inside the text widget. In font family, I will just write a Pacifico here that we have wrote inside the family of the Perspec ML. So as you can see, our text font has been changed. So now this I wrote just to show how to use a font inside the different text and you can give the more styling to your text widget according to your choice. Though I will don't use any of the font family here, I will remove the fonts folder from the app. So this is it from this video. On our next video, I will make the complete UI of our news app and will connect the backend using the news API. Until then, don't forget to hit that subscribe button and click the notification bell so you won't miss a moment of this incredible journey. So keep coding, keep having fun, Until then, I will see you next time. Thanks for watching.